Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm Crystal and this is Sniper Elite 3, which is definitely not an RPG, but I mean at this point, who's going to stop me?
Sniper Elite 3 has the best, not the best, but I'm going to say the best trailer.
Oh yeah? I didn't watch the trailer.
I don't know if it's a trailer or what it is. I saw, that's the footage I see sometimes of the game, which is basically a sniper. The sniper has his mark, right? This guy, oh, I'm gonna kill that guy. And he shoots the toolbox that is in front of the guy. So that a screwdriver.
I have seen that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I'm just saying. Why? Why would you do that?
Well, I think I cut you off. Finish describing what happens.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's basically the screwdriver kills the guy instead of the bullet. Why would you do that?
That does seem pretty dumb. I mean, you could claim it was an accident, maybe.
If it was an accident, why would you be shooting the toolbox?
No, I mean, like, claim it was a...
Oh.
Claim it, like, set it up to look like an accident.
Yeah, that does make sense, though. Yeah.
Doesn't seem very likely, though.
I mean, I never played Sniper Elite 3, or any Sniper Elite.
Yeah. But, we're only playing Sniper Elite so I can put Adway on blast, because he said, hey Christo, this game looks really fun, we should play, or at least not that fun, but it looks like it'd be fun to play multiplayer together. Come, why don't you get the game and then we can play multiplayer together? So I get the game, and he doesn't.
What?
And then he has now eventually bought it, but he hasn't downloaded it because it's too big.
Oh no.
Oh right, here's the paladin we got to save. I may or may not have enough persuasion.
You go ahead, persuasion man.
You approach, but
Let me know.
the prisoner will be
Okay,
silently
I need
beyond
this thing.
This one,
They were boys. Local boys at side. A couple of white traitors doesn't mean.
at best,
I was
you
just
are
attacked by a ghost.
So she protected some children.
worst, you are a
The lesbian?
What an evil person.
In either case,
Yes.
the sentence is
I hope people watch the previous episode, otherwise you're going to come off bad saying that. Who?
Well,
The
if you go
lesbian?
lesbian.
As that's the
there's
important thing about her character, of course.
No, that's the defining aspect because there's nobody else who's lesbian.
I think that is true. I think this is the only lesbian couple
I mean,
in
you
the whole
made
game.
it sound like that. And
I think that's true, which
I
is
think so.
bizarre.
I mean, I guess player character, if you.
True, could be the player character.
But then your player character could just identify as bi
step
or
aside,
pan or
stranger.
yeah.
No, you've done the wrong thing. Beg the paladin for her life. Based on intelligence persuasion, which I can't fail.
Perhaps
You can't because you're the intelligent one.
Hey, I saved her.
Yeah, I think she's easy to save.
I'll never forget this kindness. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Giant flame
Go and be
ring.
gay. Or I mean, yeah. I suppose.
Go and
What's
be
the word? There's
Sorry?
like a meme for the one must be gay or something like that. I don't remember.
I don't know.
I meant to say smart things that were smart, but I couldn't.
But you didn't, no.
I didn't. That's not nothing new. for me. We should go over here because there's a lot of things to fight over here in this.
Watch our previous episode if you think our talk about them being lesbians sounds weird, because it is weird out of context.
It's not weird.
I'm going to talk to Lord Kem if you want to keep exploring, see what he has to say, because I think he's, like, important.
Yeah, you might be right.
I'm pretty sure he's evil. Because we saw someone in the mirror. I mean, I know he's evil, but we saw someone in the mirror that sounds a lot like him in the, what's his face? The wicked dude that we killed's lair.
Mm-hmm. The Salomon?
half-dressed magister stands before the spirit.
I think it was
manages to
Salomon.
draw his-
Alarm! Sound the alarm!
He starts to swipe and
Oh, no,
jab
don't
his
try to say
sword
it.
at an unseen.
So the paladins attacks, but the whites... I mean, let's not get racial here, but the whites were nowhere to be found. Okay. Weird. This fire was set on purpose. No shit. This place just came under attack, lady.
Yes, there was
Oh,
a lot of on-purpose fire.
Yeah, I mean, had a great time browsing a subreddit at lunch today called I Don't Work Here Lady.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
It's really good. Of just really entitled mothers, usually with their kids, like harassing random people in shops because they presumed they worked at the shop.
Oh. I thought it was the harassing people who actually worked at the shop. but
No,
they
it was,
just said-
I don't work here. Was the response?
Yeah, they could be trying to pretend they didn't work there. I mean, I guess it's kind of hard to do that without
Yeah.
with the
Getting in trouble.
also the uniform. Like,
Also uniforms, yes.
yeah,
What do you mean not enough space?
there's never enough space. What do you mean?
There's infinite space. Or something.
Is there?
I think, I can't remember.
Community goes back and forth in that regard.
Can I stack these chairs? Oh, that's really funny. You can.
I found a dagger that's called Combat Dagger.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, as opposed to like what, a letter opener?
I don't know, I guess.
Actually,
Ah.
daggers for combat, they're not really... Like, we see them in movies being used, but they're not really things that people use in combat.
What, in like main combat? No, of course not.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Not
you
even
just get your
swords.
ass
People
kicked by anyone with a...
Yeah, people didn't even use
Longer
swords
reach
as
weapon.
a main weapon for the most part.
No, it's far too expensive. You can't have all that wasted metal in a great big sword blade.
Also, it's
When a
not very
sharp
long.
tip will do.
Yeah. Spears for the win, forever.
Yeah.
A combination
Also, they're
is
kind of
embedded in a
harder to
sequence
use,
of numbers.
swords
Each
are.
of the 4 dials bears 4. The first dial must be set.
I say, as somebody who has never used either a spear or a sword.
I think I need your help, please.
Okay. How may I help?
Could you teleport to me,
Hello.
talk to the spirit?
Hello.
I need to know what number correlates to purity of mind, order of society, discipline
Oh, I
of
have
body,
the thing.
loyalty of divine. Oh, okay, cool.
It's a book.
Oh,
and I
cool.
just picked it up. I also have an encrypted book, but I don't know if it matters. I'm gonna. Put
Oh,
it
it's just the
here.
order of those 4 is what I need, please.
Yeah, the order. Oh no, it's not this one. Yeah, so it's 1 purity of mind,
The
Yeah.
mechanism-
2
the second
order
dial
of
has the
society.
same- the
Yeah.
third one last
Whoops.
dial.
Oh, I clicked
With
the
the
sign.
same
Hang on.
forces
Let
as
me...
all the
Okay,
sequence of each of the 4. The
Okay,
first
purity of
dial
mind,
mechanism, the
order of
second
society.
dial
Society.
bears
Yeah.
the same
Discipline of
options as
body.
before.
Yeah.
One last dial
And
remains.
loyalty.
It was
is
actually
divine.
in the order that they were put.
Final dial. Silence.
Yes.
No, that's
The
wrong.
hatch doesn't budge.
It says
The
1,
hatch
2, 3,
is
and
a
4.
sequence of each of the 4. The first dial must be set.
Are
Well,
you sure?
yeah. 1.
Oh,
Mechanism,
there's
the
another
second
thing.
and
Two.
third, one last
It's
dial
wrong.
remains. With the
There's another- yeah, there's
specifics
another
of each of
aspect
the
to
four, the
this,
first
Okay.
dial must be set.
It's these things. There's plaques over here.
Oh, are there? Okay.
For loyalty of the divine. I think that's
The
what it
hatch,
is.
a
Okay, so I
sequence
can
of
read the
numbers. Each
plaques
of
and the
four,
plaques
Okay.
say the
first
numbers.
dial must be set.
Give me a little bit. So 3 is discipline of the body.
That's the same.
First is purity of mind. Huh. It is the same, isn't it?
I mean, let me try again.
Mechanism,
Purity
the
of
second
mind,
dial. The third
order of
dial bears
society.
The same options as before.
Oh, wait a minute.
One last dial remains. Silence.
Mhm.
A
Right, hang on.
sequence, each of the first dial,
Purity of
the
mind,
second dial,
order of
the third
society.
dial, one last
Oh,
dial
fudge.
remains.
I keep
The
mucking it
hatch,
up
a
because on
sequence
one
of
of them you have to
the
press a
first
button to
dial
go
must be
back
set.
and back the options on another one you don't. I'll just do it with my mouse.
The
Purity of
mechanism-
mind.
the second dial,
Order of
the third
society,
dial bears the
discipline of
one
body,
last dial remains.
loyalty to the
Final
divine.
dial. Silence.
No.
The hatch is a sequence.
Okay,
each
let me-
of
let me
four
talk
dials.
to
The
this
first
dude.
dial must be set.
Yeah, that is the order.
The paladin, no matter. You'll fail
Hello.
just like them.
You mentioned ciphers. What do you mean?
I was the high cryptographer.
thought there
for
was something
coded
else.
Letters, passwords, security measures, all my creation. Now that I'm
May-
dead,
oh, maybe it's a
you'll never
code.
decipher any of it.
Maybe you need to spell out a code based on the.
Maybe.
My task was to
Okay.
protect the
So
secrets of the
go ahead and try this
But
one.
let me say this.
Um,
The notion that we
the
would
code.
have anything to do with the Black Ring
I'm very
is
good at this.
absurd.
Order of society.
Patently
Whenever
absurd.
you're ready.
The spirit's smug demeanor gives way to an angry.
I love how we're interpreting the fact that the fires were intentionally set to mean the Magisters set the fires themselves in order to destroy evidence. That's what I'm doing in this concept. It doesn't make any sense.
Measures made necessary by the
They could destroy the
treacherous-
evidence themselves instead of setting fire to the whole thing.
It is.
Because this is controlled by them.
But I advise
Oh,
you
nice.
to
I can
leave.
persuade him.
Oh, okay, good.
This lock will never be broken.
The spirit catches.
So
itself.
no more codes, right?
I guess
All he
my
said
only
was
regret
the
is
plaques
that I will
correspond
never
with
present
something,
my
something.
technique to
Oh,
the
you need to
annual
know what the
symposium of
something is.
cartographers.
So
Right.
let's look at these plaques. There must be more to do with these plaques.
Careful now. That's a trap.
Is it? Oh.
Engraved on the plaque are the words
3
body."
discipline of body.
I found something.
What'd you
The
find?
plaque reads 4.
A hatch.
Yeah, that's the locked
The
hatch.
combination.
Yeah.
1324. That's the number.
How'd you know it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 4?
Because I looked at the numbers here. You can listen in, I think.
combination lock.
Yeah. Can you? You see that?
Oh, the freaking! I didn't read that.
So there it is. 1, 3.
Dials, the first dial must
All
be
right.
set.
Oh, it's.
So
yeah,
1 is
they're
1.
The second
2
dial
is
has the
3.
same 4 phrases to select from.
Yeah.
They're in the right order.
The mechanism.
Yeah,
third
and then
dial
2 is
bears
2 and
nothing.
4 is
One
4.
last, the
Yeah.
final then.
Nice.
The hatch yields.
All right, let's just
gonna
gloat
need
to
to-
this guy.
Cheated.
How did we
I
cheat?
didn't cheat.
Defeated.
I didn't pay anybody.
My life's work. Your life's work was a 4-digit combination code that you put on the bloody wall. You idiot. You deserve to be eaten.
That's right.
All right.
Next, they'll be having us play,
Someone worked hard.
I don't know, Pipe Dream or Lights Out.
It's like I read speaking of Reddit, I read a long rant about how crap the guards of stuff is for the Philosopher's Stone in the first Harry Potter, and it really is terrible. The way to get through every challenge is in the room with the locked door, which defeats the whole point of a locked door. Mundane
Isn't there
list
like
of
a
duties.
password that is not a password and it's a riddle?
Exactly. There's loads of them. Like, what's
Yeah.
why? Why not just
Why?
have? Why not just have keys that you don't keep in the room with the locked door, like a sane person?
Yeah. The last time we talked about Harry Potter, we were talking about something similar to that. And since then, I've heard somebody ramble about how Harry Potter is not that great.
Yeah.
And they also
I think it's
said-
pretty good. It's just not. It's just a children's book. It's not
Yeah.
like great fiction, which some people
That
seem to
was the
think it
ultimate
is.
conclusion of the video that I was watching. About
Yeah.
it. And me having never played it, or not played it.
Yeah.
watched it.
J.K. Rowling, another example of a terrible way to
That's a trap.
handle inclusion in fiction. By the way.
Yeah, after the fact. Oh, Dumbledore was gay.
Not just after the fact, but after the fact, and then when you do new things after the time you've said it, still not including it.
Oh yeah, 'cause it's just like. Yeah, that's yeah.
What are you doing?
There's a lot of. Ooh, this necklace is pretty good. There's a lot of things to be said about that, and the.
None of them
Yeah.
are positive.
Nope. That's a little bit like what is it called? Queer baiting, I think, where you sort of have the subtext.
Baiting.
Yeah, it's
I don't think I've
basically
heard that
having it's what happens when you. I think I heard of it in context of Supernatural. the
Oh yeah.
Where there's a lot of queer baiting there apparently in the last 2 seasons, where one of the main characters sort of flirts a lot with another character of the same gender. They're both men,
Uh-huh.
and
I know what it
Behind
means
this
when
painting.
two characters of the same gender, but thanks for the clarification.
More magic.
no, I didn't say that. It,
They must have
Specific-
many secrets
I didn't say they
to
were
all
men.
these lengths.
You did.
Uh,
You said they're both men.
That didn't sound
after the
successful.
anyway,
You said a main character. All the main characters in that show are men.
that's true. That was sort of yeah.
See attractive.
But the series never capitalized on it. Never
Something
actually.
behind this painting.
There's no text there. They don't actually ever get involved romantically.
Didn't
So what
sound
they do
successful.
is they're sort of showing queer subtext in lieu of actual text.
Queer stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like having their cake and eating it too, because people who are homophobic can be in denial and be like, "Oh no,
Sure.
this is absolutely straight," like, blah. And then
The statue
people who
reaches
are
the
more
bottom.
interested in more stuff, well, at least more than just flirting, they don't get anything.
Yeah. Annoying.
Yeah.
I will be right back. I need to respec into strength so I can move a portrait. Find out whether it's the order of mind, body, spirit, please.
You're still on that?
What? What do you mean?
I thought that was done.
No, it's a new trial.
Oh, new trial. Okay. Yeah. You go ahead and respec. Yeah, it's kind of complicated. because the because the I feel that the problem with Harry Potter, it's in specific in regards to just I hesitate to call it like changing depending on how society changes, but it's a little bit like that.
It's not just that. It's trying to claim credit for doing something progressive without taking the risk that would come from actually putting the progressive thing into your art.
Yeah.
For which you deserve no credit because you're not doing the progressive thing. You're just kind of pretending to, which is very disingenuous. Although I do love the new vein of Twitter comedy that it has prompted with people with things like nobody blank, everybody blank, J.K. Rowling, Dobby takes it up the arse like nobody's business. And there's some absolutely fantastic examples of that. Like nobody, not a soul, no one said anything. Hagrid was definitely a furry. Like there's quite a lot of those. They're pretty good.
I've seen some memes in that vein. But what I was gonna say is that it's a long series of books. So, like, after the fact, it's always going to be a little bit after the fact if you didn't start off with things.
I just think, this is, I know there's like two schools of thought on this with like death of the author versus, I can't remember what the other one's called. But I don't need to know the name of the other one because death of the author's right. I think authors...
just like that.
I think authors should just... this is obviously... This is my preference, and it doesn't really affect me if people don't do my preference because I can just ignore the authors. But I don't care what an author has to say about the world they've created outside of the main canon. Like if someone came along and said, if like the creator for Divinity came along and said, "Oh, by the way, Losa was canonically gay," for example, I wouldn't care even a little bit.
That doesn't change the game.
It doesn't change. Yeah. Let's say in my game she's not gay, for example. That doesn't make. I didn't catch that. Let's say in my game she was not gay, which is she wasn't in my first campaign. Although she did like skeletons a slightly creepy amount, and so let's say someone came along and said differently. I would absolutely just say like, I don't care if you created the game. You created the game, and then you lost any right to have influence over it, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, but it doesn't really... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a little bit related to like how you try to interpret certain things in books. Even like it doesn't even have to be the author, but like the fans themselves trying to interpret certain things in books that are not there. And this happens a lot in games that are not very well written.
Yeah, it happens in English lit classes all the bloody time too.
Yeah, you can have that interpretation, but to say that if the thing is not there, yeah, it can make sense that it could be that, but like if the author didn't, the author could have had that in mind, and you can say, oh yeah, but the author like lived in France for 3 years, so that's why. But if it's not in the text, like that's like behind the scenes stuff. It's not a valid, or it's not the valid interpretation, because you can have other valid interpretations of what's in the text. So in that, I definitely agree with you. I know what you're talking about the death of the author.
I don't know, because sometimes it can be fun to hear authors elaborate on what they thought about characters and stuff like that. But basically, as far as I'm concerned, I'll find that kind of interesting. But as soon as it conflicts with what I think, like I'm ceasing to care. And the reason is, like I had a huge debate about this with some people once. Both sides on this debate got very angry. It was hugely disproportionate to the subject matter. But it was over the something to do with The Witcher. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, my basic argument, which is kind of wacky, came down to... There's only 3 of these buttons, by the way, so I'm going to brute force the order.
That sounds good.
At least I think there's only 3. It came down to... I don't think there's such thing as a canon in which there is like a true answer to something.
That's interesting.
So, for example, let's say people might say like, "Oh no, it is canon that such and such happened because in a future book it was confirmed." For example, my position on that is basically, well, there isn't a true canon because it's fiction. So essentially, the true answer can be whatever the hell I want it to be.
That's a very flimsy argument there, I must declare.
I don't think so, because there isn't. When people try and claim there is a true canon in a fictional universe, like, what do you want about?
Because the thing is, like, the word canon, I don't know if it's used outside of the context of religion before it was used in the context of religion. So, if the origin is canon being that which the ruling class of priests or whatever the religion in particular has decide is the correct interpretation, like, because that is what canon originally was.
Yeah.
Or I think, as far as
Another example where there is no true answer, and so you can make up whatever the hell you want.
So if you're gonna say canon needs to be a thing, there's no true canon because it's fiction. Like, yeah, true canon, the original one. We're sort of talking. I mean, like, multiple religions have canons, and unless you're there's a word for people who belong to multiple religions. So unless
Multiple religions.
Yeah, it's like you can be Christian and Muslim at the same time. There's a word for that.
You definitely can't be.
Oh, you can. You can do anything. It's fine.
Not by any sensible definition of those two words.
What I'm saying is, like, if you're gonna accept canon as being that which pertains to the correct or the
Well, that's my
official-
point. Like, recognized by the official authority. I do not recognize any official authority on any fiction. That's my
but
point.
You're saying their canon doesn't exist.
I think,
it doesn't
well,
exist
by
for
various definitions, it doesn't exist. For example, by the definition, the thing approved by the recognized authority, it doesn't exist because there are no recognized authorities on fiction, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, there's a lower level over here. I'm an idiot.
I see what you mean. There's a lower level? I didn't see that. I see what you mean. So it's okay. So it's not about that it's fiction. It's that the author doesn't have the authority.
Well, it's the author doesn't have authority because it's fiction. If it was a real thing, someone would have authority, aka someone that knew the truth. But it's fiction. There is no truth.
But the religion is also on the same footing as that. I mean,
Yes,
it
would also apply there. Well, it doesn't matter if people believe it; it's still wrong. But
But the thing is, that's why I said multiple religions, because, like, any religion can be considered that, except only by the other people. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna say, Christian canon is fiction, if I'm not a Christian. But, like, if
Sure.
I am, I'm gonna say, well, Islamic canon is fiction, and there you go. And that's why I mentioned the people who belong to multiple religions, because you can. And it's kind of complicated, but
know how that would possibly
because
not be
religion doesn't
contradictory.
That's the reason why that happens is because religion doesn't have to have a canon.
Well,
And-
it depends what you mean by belonging to a member of religion. Like, if different people will mean different things when they say I am
Oh,
a
yeah.
Christian, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
By
That
any
has to do with
sensible definition of being a Christian or being a Muslim, I feel like they would be mutually exclusive. Because
they're
the
all
sensible
Abrahamic
definitions
religions.
are kind of... Well, yeah, you could say I follow an Abrahamic religion, but the Muslim holy book denounces being a Christian, so, like, it doesn't... How are you
Well,
gonna...
but you don't have to adhere. In fact, 100% of the people don't adhere to everything that exists in their holy book.
You do, but I might just be
also
radical and say that also makes them non-Muslims.
Well, but yeah, I'm not saying.
So there's almost none. I agree, but
I don't.
it would definitely be a weird way of going.
The argument then becomes: is a real person or a real religious person, the one that adheres to everything in their book? Because then you could also make the argument that a real.
But
Oh, what is that? That you just picked up.
it was a masterwork, medium masterwork rune of power. Not very useful.
That looked good.
It's not useful. It's too small.
Yeah, because it's medium.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, you can also make an argument that to be truly, I mean, you can make a valid argument, is what I'm trying to say, that to be truly religious in a specific religion, you need to be critical of the text.
I mean,
If you
I
make
don't
that
know how
argument
much.
to
I
be-
don't know how much of the Quran you've read. Definitely not true. If you were to be a Quranic Muslim.
There are people who believe that. I'm saying this because I know.
No,
there are
I know,
people
but
who say that you're
would
not
be-
truly a Christian if you don't look critically at the Bible.
I know, but it would be. I mean, I can't think of a Bible verse that would be critical of that, but that would be heavily
Well,
contradictory with Surah 14 in the Quran, which says,
Yeah.
basically don't ever criticize in what
Oh
is
yeah,
in the
that's the
Quran.
one that they even changed the Arabic language because of that.
Yeah.
I think there's something like that. I'm talking to Raymond over here. He didn't like that I was looting everything. I think he didn't like that I clicked on my Windows key.
I think he won't like that we're gonna end the episode and fight him next time.
How do you know we're gonna fight him?
Because I've played this game already.
Oh well, then it's your time to take.
And he just had all the White Magisters killed, I think. It is my episode. Thank you for listening to us ramble about religion and stuff, which is fun. And what else do we talk about?
Canonicity.
Bad representation of,
Oh yeah, we need to go back to
tokenism, all that. And what else? J.K. Rowling being a brat on Twitter, which is always a good time. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.
Bye.